Welcome back to Casa. My name is Jorge. Today I'm doing another round of wall art projects. For this first one, it's actually a canvas print that I thrifted, not very good quality, so I am priming it and prepping it for my own artwork. Let's get started. Now that I have a blank canvas ready to go, it's time to add our texture. But since I will not be adding a frame for this, I will instead be working with the edge of the canvas. This is a really good tip if you don't want to create a frame for a canvas piece. Work with the edge of the canvas. So I am taping this off. This is going to give us a crisp, clean line look. What am I going to do for texture, you ask? Well, I'm actually going to use some rope and I'm adhering it onto the canvas with some of the super gel that I got from Dollar Tree. Sometimes I sketch out the idea beforehand, not for this piece. I'm kind of just letting the creative process take the lead here. I really had no intention of creating organic shapes, but that's just what ended up happening. And it really got me thinking about the creative process. It's such an interesting concept of how things come to our minds, ideas. And the creative process is a fluid journey, meandering through the landscapes of the imagination, adapting and evolving with each brushstroke. It's a constant dialogue between the artist and creation where ideas flow and transform, giving life to vibrant, ever-changing expressions of the inner world. Now that I have my shapes, it's time to add some texture, and here I'm going to really get playful with this. I will be using joint compound as the base, but I'm going to add a couple other ingredients to make it adhere to the canvas a little bit stronger and give it a little bit of flexibility as we don't want this to crack. And here are the ingredients that I use. I'm also using some old wall paint that I'm trying to get rid of. It's latex, so it'll work. Honestly, I don't really measure things. I kind of throw things together, and in this case, I'm really going for a thick paste consistency. This is by far my favorite part of the process. I find it very therapeutic, and just spreading this mixture throughout and kind of following the organic shapes, and this is what it's ended up looking like. I was going to stop here, but then I thought let's play with more texture, so I'm using this artist sponge to kind of create a beautiful juxtaposition between these two, and I'm doing this on the inside of the shapes. And of course, art is very personal, so if you ever create art, definitely have fun with it and just let it inspire you. You can take some of these techniques with you if you would like. And I'm curious to know how you interact with this piece. Let me know how you feel about this texture. Does it remind you of something or the painting in general? Let me know. And here's the final texture, which I'm really loving. Now before this mixture dries, I'm going to remove the tape to create a crisp, clean line. Then we're going to set this aside to dry, and in the meantime, we'll get started on our next art piece. Okay, so I currently have this vintage art print frame that I've shared in the past. Very beautiful painting. However, I just want something a little bit different. I actually am going to switch this one out and find another piece. Actually, I found another piece at the thrift store. This is the painting that I thrifted. It's an original piece and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the color tones and everything. I was kind of just... Not me almost breaking this. When I put this the other day, I actually really like it. The one thing though that's kind of I'm not loving for this particular space for what I'm going for is sort of the blue tones. And I do not dare paint over this piece. I actually really love it, but this is just not the space for it. I mean, isn't that beautiful? I love the solid wood. It has sort of this linen border detail. I don't know what the exact name for that, but so here's what I'm gonna do. First of all, I am not going to paint over that beautiful masterpiece. In fact, I'm going to take that canvas out, that artwork, put it away safely, or maybe find another space for it. And I'm going to use that existing frame. So tomorrow we'll go and pick up a new canvas, and then we can do my own artwork. A little bit more abstract, minimalist, we'll see. If I don't like it, I can always put that artwork back in there. I might even sell it in the future, who knows? Maybe I might put it up in the autumn because it's giving some autumnal vibes. It smells incredible in here. You know why? Because of this. That's the car squeaking, I promise. You know, I love Scentbird and everything that they do, and now I love their sister brand. And now we have Drift. Drift creates air care products for your car and your home, and this is one of the coolest new products in the fragrance category. This right here is a car scent for your car, of course. So this is a metal clip and it clips directly onto the visor. Then you get your Drift wood piece. So this is the fragrance. Oh my God, it smells incredible. Then it has a magnet in the back and then you just pop it right up. Now all the materials they use are sustainable and their scents are made from natural, essential, and fragrance oils. Their car products are just around $9 for the wood and metal and about $14 for stone. Okay, what's cool about these car fresheners is that you can get them as a subscription. First, you receive a starter kit with the clip and the scent, and then you just get the monthly refills. They recommend changing them every 30 days. And the best part is the scent of the month, which features a new limited edition scent inspired by the season and the memories and emotions attached to it. So scent of the month also gives you some variety, so it's something new for your nose every month. And their subscription is pretty flexible, so you can change your scent of choice, delivery frequency, or even cancel your subscription. And they also have home fragrance. I got this diffuser, also smells incredible. And of course, I have a discount code for you. You can get 55% off your order with my code on your first month at Drift. Again, be sure to use my discount code for 55% off your first order at Drift. And thanks again to Drift for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's go home and make some artwork. Oh my, what's going on? Well, this is our texture. Here I'm going to repurpose some old cardboard that I've had laying around and we're going to create some shapes for this piece. Now, initially I started with these boxes, however, I ended up finding that they were very thin and then I'd have to stack multiple of them to create some depth, which ended up being a lot of work. So then I found this piece that came in a package, thicker cardboard. This will be even better. I cut these into about 5-inch squares that I laid out on a grid on the canvas, and to glue them I'm just using some hot Gorilla Glue, which is going to secure them on there. Of course, I'm just getting started because we need to add some texture, and for this I'm going to turn this into a piñata. I keep referencing piñatas. Anyways, basically taking some PVA glue and some water, and I'm just going to take some tissue paper and cover the entire surface of this. This is not only going to hide the fact that this is cardboard, it's also going to create some texture through the wrinkles, and here's what it ended up looking like. By the way, it took way longer than I showed here. Of course, I let that dry overnight. Now, before I add some color, I'm giving it a coat of some acrylic primer. This is going to give us a clean surface, hide that cardboard, and make sure that we have a good coat for the acrylic paint to go on. Now, in terms of color palette, I was going back and forth what I wanted to do, and since I plan on putting this in the living room, I really want something vibrant and playful. So I'm gonna do, well, actually, I won't tell you yet, but first I will cover this with some beige sort of paint. This is going to give it a more wabi-sabi feel. Now, this ended up being a little bit too brown for the color palette that I will be using, so I ended up giving it a whitewash with some watered down acrylic paint, which I absolutely love how it brought forward the texture and just made it feel a little bit more vibrant. While that dries, let's come back to this piece, which again, giving it a coat of some acrylic based primer to prep it for some paint. And in terms of paint colors, I really want to keep this one neutral, but really have fun with contrast. So the base coat I went with is sort of like a beige, almost terracotta color, but again, a little bit too brown for what I'm going for, so then I whitewashed it over it, which is really nice for adding some depth. And for the outer shapes, I will introduce some color, so I'm using some green, some brown, and I think a little bit of black acrylic paint, and really just following the grain of the texture and encompassing the organic forms. We'll set that aside for a minute. Meanwhile, let's have fun with color. color. Yes, this is my color palette for this piece. I really wanted something vibrant and inspiring, something that would captivate the feeling of the transitional periods of seasons, whether it be the seasons of life or the seasons of the year. Basically a transition, right? It's never just one thing. From the vibrant blossoms of spring to the golden hues of autumn, each season unfolds with its own unique charm, bringing forth a symphony of colors, scents, and sensations. And in a sense, it's always a transition period, isn't it? And with this, of course, comes the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, the loss. Nonetheless, this piece is turning out beautifully and it's very vibrant, but we're going to set it aside and let's finish this up right here. We're going to do the border. Now, remember how we taped this off? Well, in this particular case, I don't know if this is the best choice. I'm still kind of going back and forth with this, but I decided to go with some black sort of wash black paint, and this further adds to the contrast, but it still allows sort of that green to breathe. And this is the final result. I took it into the living room. I'm really loving it. Let me know your thoughts on this piece. Would you choose a different color palette, maybe different shapes? Let me know. Alright, let's take it home. And I actually muted the colors a bit. Some of them I went darker, some of them I went lighter, but I really just wanted to encompass this feeling of transition. And I really love how they turned out. And as you know, I love embracing imperfection. And once I mounted it onto this wooden frame, I knew this was it. On a side note, I'm kind of having some trouble styling this sofa. We'll address this in the future, but for now, let's take a look and take in the beauty of this piece. Let me know if you are a fan of this. Do you like the colors? What are your thoughts on this piece? Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed today's project. Let me know in the comments which of these two is your favorite. And I also want to thank Drift for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to use my discount code for 55% off your first month at drift.co. Again, I'll put the link down in the description. And if you want to see more DIY wall art pieces, be sure to check out my playlist here at the end. Also, come say hi on Instagram and let me know what you want me to make next. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.